Jason Trafford here, Total Business Solutions Tax and Accounting Services, and of course I like to do a few fun ones here and there, and I came up with a little bit of a fun one today. And most of the books that most of us see and deal with out there are all kind of inspirational, 3 ways to do this, 7 habits, 5 steps, everything, and it's all about how you can be better and how you can. Nobody points out the elephant in the room is how you can stop being so bad, possibly. You suck. Who knows, this might morph into a book. 5 reasons why you suck at life. I think that's fair. First, poor communication. Communication is key to most things. One of my mentors early on said that nothing bad ever came from over communicating, which is true in my life. Communication also is not just communicating with others, but with yourself. So Tony Robbins says, you are the story you tell yourself, which is absolutely true. If you say you're a failure, if you say you won't succeed, or if you say you're lazy, if you say you're stupid, you become all of those things. But you're also the story you tell others. You might hear somebody say, oh, I'm not good at that, or I'm not very fast, or I'm procrastinator, or I'm lazy, things like that. And then sure enough, it's self-fulfilling prophecy. So that happens. And the biggest problem with communication is lack of connection. They say first impressions are lasting impressions. I mean, that's your connection. That's like right away the first connection you make. So that's really important. So making a good connection, establishing that connection, telling the right story, good communication to yourself and others, this is a big key at why things might not be working out for you, and whether it's business or relationships, especially relationships, but in reaching others, communication, very huge. Time wasters, wasting time. We waste so much time in life, whether we're watching TV, we're entertaining ourselves with video games or social media or the internet. People who suck make good things, great tools in life, become bad ones. I mean, the internet is a wonderful resource. We have so much available out there to learn and grow businesses on the internet and everything, but what do we turn it into? The internet then gets narrowed down to social media, porn, and online shopping. That's what we've turned it into. So, people who suck at life, time wasters. Procrastination, old mentor of mine used to say procrastination is like masturbation. Either way, you're screwing yourself in the end. Who you surround yourself with is huge. When it comes to time wasting, people who also suck at life have no respect for time, and they waste it. They waste yours, they waste their own. They don't give a shit about their own, so they're going to waste yours. Time's one of the only resources, one of the few resources you can never get more of. So, wasting time. The third reason why you suck at life is you don't know yourself. You don't know what you want out of life. There's one of the things about being able to identify with yourself is we've all heard you can't love unless you know how to love yourself. You can't love someone else. You can't respect someone else unless you learn how to respect yourself. You can't appreciate others unless you appreciate yourself, which are all true. If you don't know yourself very well, you're not going to know others. And if you don't have a good relationship with what's in here first, you're never going to be able to project to anything out there. So if you're not inspired on the inside, you're never going to inspire anyone else. Little kids start with, what do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, if you're 40 years old and you haven't figured that out yet, you suck at life. So, and then another thing that I wrote down here, not being honest with yourself. That's huge. People think they're more valuable than they are, which doesn't mean you can't be that valuable one day. About knowing your own value. So many people overestimate their value. They're not honest with themselves. They don't realize that, hey, you probably suck at this portion. Maybe you don't suck all the way at life or that specific job, but there's a couple details that you do suck at, but you think you could do them anyway, so you go and do them and you fail miserably because you weren't honest with yourself. Everything starts inside and then goes outward. So that's very important. Fourth reason why you suck at life is you have no clear goal or paths to goals, even if you do have goals. Short and long-term goals, very important. Most people don't have clear, concise, short and long-term. Even for people that have goals, they don't really have a clear path on how to get there. One thing that I wrote down here, Stephen Covey says, begin with the end in mind. Everything starts, example that Stephen Covey uses in there was, a house is built 3-4 times in their mind and on paper and things like that before the first hammer is even swung. it's put together in your mind. It's put together in design. It's put together in drafts on the computer and then laid out in the blueprints. The house has been built so many times over. The ending has been in the mind since the beginning. So people don't have a clear end. You don't have an end. Most people don't have a clear roadmap as to how to get there. I mean, you know point A to point B. Hey, I want to be a doctor. However, the problem is that you're not laying out a strategy, a roadmap on how to get there. You don't realize, well, I need to do this undergrad degree, and then I need to go take the MCATs, and then I need to get into a medical school, and then I need to do well in that so that I can get into a residency. And then 8 years later, through following all the right steps along the way, then you become a doctor. It's pretty clear for a lot of things, but it's the little things in life that kind of stump you. You might set up a business. You might understand what you want out of that business, but if you haven't laid out a proper strategy to get that, then you don't have the roadmap right. The fifth, and I think the most important step missed completely for people who just suck at doing things, they have no grit, no perseverance, which I just say you have no balls and no heart, period. It's kind of a crude way of saying it, but you have to have balls to step out into some things. I mean, you have to be fearless. You have to jump out there and say, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to get it. There's people all the time. I mean, I grew up a poor ghetto kid, and here I am living a really good life and enjoying a ton of success and have a happy family and a great business and all these things. I shouldn't have any of these things based on the statistics of most of the kids that came from where I came from. But really, it was just dumb fearlessness. I wasn't gonna. I didn't care. Failure didn't hurt me as much. Didn't hurt my feelings. I just assumed that I just gave it all and jumped in head first. But it's about perseverance and grit. It's not just about doing it, but it's about sticking with it, working hard, and putting your best foot forward all the time. Failing, getting knocked down, getting back up. The willingness to make sacrifices. People want all the best things, but they're not willing to throw it all on the table for it. They're not willing to sacrifice. High risk, high reward. Everybody knows that. It's a simple equation. It's common knowledge, but yet nobody wants to throw the high risk out there. They want to be safe. They're afraid to fail. They're afraid to look bad. Finally, under that fifth reason why you suck at life, no commitment to the task. You know, I was told a long time ago by an employer that employers aren't really looking at your college degree as proof that you can do the job. What college tells an employer, and I get this now, being an employer myself, what college tells an employer is that you have the willingness to see something through. You can be committed and get to the end of something that is sometimes boring, sometimes aggravating, sometimes highly frustrating and difficult, but your degree from university basically shows your willingness to see something through to completion, and that's the most important thing. When you get out of school, you don't know shit about the job for the most part that you're going to do. I mean, I'm an accountant by trade. I own an accounting firm. I do thousands of tax returns. However, when I first got done with my accounting degree, I didn't know two shits about doing a tax return for the most part, especially the more complicated ones, which I was supposed to be dealing with complicated clients coming out. The college degree is just the commitment, seeing that you do commitment and then seeing it through, and that's how they test it. But it's about commitment. So, again, the 5 reasons why you suck at life, most likely. Not steps to get better. How about steps to eliminate from your life so you'll actually get something done in life? We have poor communication, time wasted, not knowing yourself, what you want, what's your goals, what will make you happy, no clear goal or path to goals if you have some goals, no real strategy on how to get there, and then no grit or perseverance, or like I say, no heart, no balls. So, get these things going right in your life and screw all the other steps that you can make things happen in life, because things will happen in life the moment you quit being a dumbass and quit sucking at life. Follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, at TBS Tax, and subscribe to my YouTube. Right here I can put it. So, talk to you soon.